What up, YouTube? Supernova here. If you seen in my last video, I talked about the headlight. Finally got it back on. This is the part that broke, and I had to JB weld it. I have to wait a couple months before I get a new one in, but it holds up pretty good. Hung the light by its own weight just from this, and it's actually pretty good. I hosed it down early this morning to check for leaks, and it's not leaking. So just the HID bulbs themselves are out. Finally, the time has come. The valve covers are in, and I am fixing to put them on. I almost want to paint them red, and it's kind of weird. This one's shiny and this one's kind of rugged, but I almost want to paint them red. But yeah, to me, performance is more important than style. It's been scientifically proven black disperses heat just as fast as it attracts it from the sun. Because even with this bike, I'm at work, it'll sit in the sun for anywhere from 8 to 10 hours, and this seat be so hot you can scramble legs on it. I put it in the shade, within a couple of minutes, it's able to be sat home. So same thing. But valve covers are finally in. It's pretty much easy to just throw them on. They did come from Rock Auto. Thank you, Rock Auto, for having these valve covers at my disposal. The valve covers I ordered were Fel Pro, but thank God they came with the O-rings, because the ones that did come in don't fit, and it's a metal ring they're made into it, so really can't change them out or anything. So thank God it came with them. They also came with gaskets as well, and I peeled them off because these are actually harder than these. These are Fel Pros, they're a little bit softer, so you can get a better seal on them. I've always been a Fel Pro kind of guy. Every gasket I've ever used, it's always been Fel Pro. I don't like using any other brand. In fact, my dad used what's that, Venzor, something with a V type oil pan gasket, and he put it on his Toyota Camry, which actually used to be my very first car back when I was 17, and sure enough, within a couple weeks it started leaking, and the bolts were tight and everything. He changed out the gasket back to a Fel Pro, and hadn't had a problem. It's been on there for 6 months and it hadn't leaked not one bit, and it just proves I've always been a Fel Pro kind of guy. And they never failed me. So, but anyway, this is a new addition to the car collection. This is the Toyota Sequoia. I traded my Nissan Altima and my Ford F-150 for. It does have, in fact, 2 plus 3 plus another 3. Well, yeah, plus another 3. Third row seat. It's awesome. It's got plenty of leg room. Whoever had this vehicle took really good care of it. It does, however, need shocks in the front, because we was bouncing up and down like Dr. Dre all the way from Houston. It does need tires in the back, but overall it's very good shape. Interior is very, very clean. It's only got 146,000 miles. Timing belt was serviced back at 95,000. So I still got another 50,000 miles left on the timing belt. It's very roomy. I got these plates off my old car, but very roomy. You can fold these seats down. You can remove both row seats actually. It's got a rear AC unit. AC blows ice cold. And some of y'all probably thinking, why would you want an SUV? Because it's not really as useful as a truck. Well, thing is, it's got the 4.7 I-Force V8 double overhead cam, variable valve timing. This thing has over 100 foot-pounds of torque more than what the F-150 had. This thing has, I think, 375 foot-pounds of torque. This thing gets up and scoots just as fast as my Lexus SC400 did. I had one. It had the 4.0 version of this motor, except it didn't have variable valve timing. It's got a transmission cooler, factory. It's got a separate fan for the condenser, but the motor is very, very clean, and it will pull for sure. Pull a lot harder than that Ford would. And whoever had it took very good care of it. It was worth it, trading two vehicles for one. And I saved on my insurance. And I got about 17 miles to the gallon all the way up here. That's stop and go traffic too, so just little paint defects here and there. Yeah, I also thought it was pretty awesome. I don't know if you can see it. It's got rear defrost on the side glass. And this glass don't only have rear defrost, but it rolls down. I thought that was awesome. And it's got the roof rack, towing package. But anyway, enough with the soccer mom. That's just to haul the Supernova back and forth to the track when it's done. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll go ahead and keep this rolling. We're fixing to start back on the project. Get these valve covers on. I'm gonna plug up my harness. Put the 3 coil packs here, the 3 good ones. I still gotta wait on my other 3. And go ahead and get these rags out. And I guess we'll get started. Let's see. Bear with me a minute. I gotta pop this up. Okay, some of y'all probably wondering why in the hell is he using a broomstick. Well, this hood prop right here only raises the hood about right here, and it's blocking a lot of the light. So this broomstick raises it some more, and I can actually see. Because I really don't want to have to take the hood off and have to realign it when I go to put it back on. So here we go. Move these hoses out the way. These rags. This will be the very first video y'all can actually watch me turn some wrenches. Watch how I do stuff. You see, this is the hardest side to work on, because you got this wiring harness, fuel regulator, fuel line. And I disconnect so I can actually get the valve cover out without bending it too much. So, got my plugs in there. I guess we'll get started. Just find a spot. Yeah, just bear with me. I'm trying to find a spot to prop my phone up so y'all can watch. Alright, if it does happen to get knocked over, just bear with me. I'll prop it up again. There we go. Trying to find a spot y'all can get an okay view on things. Okay, I guess that's good enough. Well, alright, let's get started. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip my finger down here and wet these so they'll slip on okay. So don't try to tear anything. It's just like an oil filter when you spin something on. Always wet the seal. Make sure it's wet before you put it in. That's what she said. Alright, that's done. Get me a rag. Alright, this is the hardest side to work with. Once we get this over, we'll be golden. Sounds like a dog running through the woods. Oh, it's my wife's Dotson. Yeah, see, it's the only bad thing about this side. It's the hardest one to work with. There we go. Okay. Lined up. Just push it on. Okay. Whew. All right. All right. Let me check. Make sure